Hi, I'm Faith McDonald. I'd like to welcome you to my presentation on the 401st Military Police Family Readiness Group Survey results. I'd like to apologize. I've sent you the presentation so that you'd have the slides to read off of. Obviously, due to weather circumstances, this is not ideal. I'd also like to thank you for letting me participate in this research in order to further my understanding of research methods and hopefully help you understand and meet the needs of your participants as well. So to start off, just a brief introduction about the United States Army's FRG. They are established to provide activities and support to enhance the flow of information, increase the resiliency of unit soldiers and their families, provide practical tools for adjusting to military deployments and separations, and enhance the well-being and esprit de corps within the unit. So what's the problem? And in talking to Veronica Shorey, the current FRG member or leader of the time, the real problem is participation among FRG members. And there was a lot of different reasons that came across in our initial interview about why this might be. Everything from, people's work schedules and family commitments to just their general lack of interest in attending, and they really had a lack of motivation to attend meetings. And in talking with the FRG leader, as well as conducting the survey and analyzing the results, these survey themes kind of emerged. And those themes were participation, personal information, and satisfaction. With participation, we really wanted to understand current participation trends among users, as well as lack of participation among users and what those reasons were. For personal information, we wanted to understand the demographics of the users as well as what might be affecting their attendance. And for satisfaction, I wanted to see why, what they did like currently and what they might like to see improved. So to start off, I conducted a literature review to see what the current research was saying about community participation, satisfaction, social capital, and leisure constraints. For community participation, the survey points I developed to address this issue was the demographic questions such as age, sex, household, number of family members in the home, and if childcare was available to them. I also wanted to ask how often they attended meetings and events with the FRG. And to evaluate this, I developed a scale or ranges to see how long they've been with the unit. I also wanted to ask what they attended more, informational meetings or events. I believe that by asking this question, I would identify which activities members were more likely to participate in the future. With satisfaction, the survey points I developed were whether or not they were satisfied with current number of events being offered, as well as when, how they're satisfied they were with when they were notified about when events were held, and how satisfied with the types of events and activities were being offered. I also wanted to ask participants what they thought the FRG was doing well and where they thought the FRG could improve. For social capital, the survey points I developed were whether or not they were comfortable approaching the leaders with personal questions, concerns, and or life issues. I thought this was important for the survey because it might motivate members to come to meetings more often if they felt a connection to the leaders or just a connection to someone else in the group in general. Additionally, I wanted to establish how many members they had developed relationships outside of the unit or within the unit outside of FRG sponsored events and activities. And again, I wanted to ask how long they've been with the unit in order to establish how long they've had to develop these outside relationships. In regards to leisure restraints, the survey points it developed were open-ended questions that allowed participants to write in their answers, such as the top 3 reasons they were not currently attending meetings. By creating these themes, I was able to assess the family's constraints in keeping them from participation. Evaluating the demographic questions previously listed also helped to identify common themes in leisure constraints, and asking what types of activities that we'd like the FRG to offer, and whether or not they'd be willing to pay additional fees, as well as what events and activities they've enjoyed in the past. So this was a mixed methods research study. The types of methods I included in this research project were stakeholder interviews. I conducted 3 stakeholder interviews, 2 of which were with the organizational leaders and 1 member of the FRG. I conducted 2 cognitive interviews with members outside of the unit who are still part of the United States Army. Both were spouses. And I did survey development, survey distribution, and survey analysis. So at the time the survey was distributed, the 401st MP FRG was serving 162 soldiers and their families. The results of the survey. So normally I would point to the slide to demonstrate what you were seeing, but you should have the presentation shortly in your email, so hopefully you'll be able to open it and go over these tables and graphs accordingly, and also the comprehensive report has been sent to you. So for the age, this was one of the first questions that I asked participants because the Army is known to have a wide range of ages included, and it's known for having younger aged males for the majority. The data displayed in Figure 1 showed that the 22 individuals who responded to the survey are not the majority age group population within the unit. 36% of the survey respondents reported being in the 28 to 32 age group versus the 18% who reported being part of the 18 to 22 age group, which according to the company commander is really a disparity in the actual population.